on in. Come right in. Come on in, my friend. Oh, it feels so good to be back.
Boy!
Oh dear. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Last week, it was all about overcoming and dealing with ignorance. This week is resolving our ignorance, because we are all guilty of being ignorant, and we all know people who are extremely ignorant.
Okay.
Our personal biases is everything that we are accumulating and absorbing from this high. As an infant, our parents and our caregivers are the biggest influences and role models in our lives. Our learned behavior stems from them. As children, we imitate siblings, relatives, teachers. All the learned behavior that we then pick up growing up, it then helps us form social groups that we end up going into, who we end up liking, who we end up gravitating towards, who we want to be more like, what we define as beauty, what we idolize. When we are young, we learn very fast about social groups, and we sure do learn what we need in order to survive physically and socially, which then helps us towards being liked, becoming popular, and having those positive or negative behaviors directed at us, which forms the base of how we tactically respond to people, approach people, or take to people. It all is stemmed from the stereotypes that we are being fed, becoming aware of the racial stereotypes that we have fixated in our brains due to the representation. This has been played out time and time again. We can sure thank the amygdala for that. The amygdala, the cushy part near the base of the brain. Amygdala, the part of the brain involved in all our learned emotional responses.
Be in the center of our fear and anxiety.
Anxiety. Help, somebody help me, somebody help me, somebody help me, somebody help me. Stereotypes have their pros. It helps us identify certain groups. But when we are starting to put labels towards certain people, that is a massive no-no.
No!
We as humans are very suggestible, as we identify people according to their categories. And whatever we associate as negative traits, it then becomes a negative stereotype, unfortunately. When we stereotype people based off their skin color, their hair, their eye color, and all these other physical attributes, what are we doing?
We are developing biases which relates directly to social discrimination.
That's right, we are developing biases which relates directly to social discrimination.
That then becomes the biggest danger, because we are then accepting racial categories as fundamental truths.
How are we meant to form new friendship groups? How are we meant to discover different parts of life and be more receptive and open to others if we are continuously going to be judging people based on the stereotypes that we believe to be accurate and true? What are we being shown in the media against underrepresented groups? Awareness of self is so pivotal. And how do we even activate our full selves? By learning, growing, and becoming more aware of self to reach a higher self. Kaboom! Alrighty, second A star, here we come. The second A star is to admit. When we can admit what we know from what we don't know, when we can stop speaking from perspectives that we are oblivious to, and we can just take ownership for the things that we do not know. What a beautiful place life would be. When we can stop speaking as if we've walked in everybody's shoes, that we have it all figured out because we are God. We are not God. We need to humble ourselves at times and just say to ourselves, you know what? I have not been through this. I cannot relate. And by all means, take the stage where I sit in the back seat and watch you as the expert who is qualified to speak in this field, talk the talk, walk the walk.
They have a right to our attention, simply because they know and we don't.
Just admit you don't know. I don't know. Can you please show me? I don't know. Can you please help me? I don't know. How do you do it? I don't know, but I think it goes like this. I love a heart that can just admit that they don't know it all and they haven't got it all figured out. And yes, they are not. They are not Miss Trunchbull.
I'm right and you're wrong. Am I wrong? I'm never wrong. I am God!
And the third A star on how to resolve ignorance is acceptance. That's right, acceptance. Accepting that your world is not my world. What you find odd, I might find even. What you find peculiar, I might find normal. What you find desirable, I might not, okay?
Okay.
Can you imagine if we all sounded the same, looked the same? For me, that is a nightmare. Top reasons that I love difference is because I'm a foodie. And I can't imagine life without food, because food is life, life is food. I love the fact that I can switch it up. If I want the taste of India, I've got the choice of biryani, korma, masala, dal, lentil stews, or chapatis. If I want the choice of China, I've got the choice of chow mein, hot pot, dim sum dumplings.
If I want the taste of Nigeria, I've got the options of egusi, ogbonna stew, okra stew, jollof, moi moi.
If I want the taste of Lebanon, I've got the choices of moussaka, hummus, falafels, and pilaf rice, and other such delights. The taste of Ethiopia with a variety of spices and stews, diving right into enchiladas, quesadillas, cheesy nachos with jalapenos. Taste of Mexico.
And of course, sweet Jamaica.
Jamaica, jerkfish, Antian saltfish, oxtail, cargo with rice and peas, festival, saltfish patty, and other such delights.
Food, glorious food. Don't care where it comes from. Whilst I'm in the mood, a hot curry or dim sum. Don't care about growing fat. I am fine with that. For food, glorious food. Accepting each other's differences is so important to help us form better relationships, form better friendships, integrate, communicate, be part of a whole collective. And there's just one other thing that's scratching my chest. One other thing that's itching my neck. And that is ignorance bliss? I can imagine subconsciously and consciously they're saying,
Even though there is 2 million news articles published on the web, and even though there is so much exposure on my social media feed, and even though you send me so much information directly to my phone, it's not my problem. Why? Don't look at me like that. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. Look, okay, if it don't concern me, why should I bother myself? Give me one good reason. I want to hear the reason. Why it don't bother me. Leave me alone. It don't affect me. Shut up.
the truth is, fair enough, at the end of the day, when you are fighting against ignorance, it takes a lot of passion, hard work, and dedication. You are truly having to knock down certain walls, man. And it may entail you disconnecting, detaching, and discontinuing from interacting with certain people. You might find yourself falling out of love with certain people. Relatives, you may no longer want to speak with them after you challenge them. But just like everything in life, what goes up eventually has to come down. So ignorance may be bliss. I believe it will eventually catch up on you. Challenging ignorance will mean that you will be challenged mentally, emotionally, psychologically, in every way, shape and form that you can think of. So that rounds up how to resolve any lingering ignorance that I have personally found effective. And of course, if there's anything that has personally worked for you too, please do let me know in the comment section below, as I'm always open to new suggestions. I look forward to seeing you in the very next video. Of course, comment, subscribe, and show me some love. And I will be seeing you very, very soon. Peace and love and all of the above.